This is a comic review of Hit Comics, September 1946. Quite a few years ago, 70 odd years, and it is in a pretty bad state, this comic. It's got 60 pages, though it probably hasn't got 60 pages now, they're probably all fallen to pieces. It was for 10 cents. Now, it's very brittle, fallen pieces, like I say, but it's got Kid Eternity. Now, Quality Comics was the company that brought them out. They brought out loads of great comics, characters. Plastic Man comes to mind. Plastic Man isn't in this one, but it's some superb art all the way through this. So you've got Kid Eternity. He's probably obviously the main hero of the story, and you can see there the artwork there. Kid Eternity. Now he can bring characters through just by calling out Eternity. He can bring characters to help him. Now, fortunately, he can't bring out obviously characters like superhero characters. That would have been useful, but he can bring out people that I suppose historically it was interesting. Because you read this and you go, I wonder who it is. A famous epic poem praised you for your strength, Rustum. So he brings Rustum into the storyline. So it's quite good. I imagine kids would have gone off and, let's go and find out more about this character. And you got that story. Now, I love the artwork in this. Some of these stories. This one, Dan Tootin, the madcap chemist. The stories there, and also you've got Her Highness, lovely, beautifully drawn. Now, unfortunately, these comics quite often they never would include the artist, and the writer as well. It's such a oversight, I think personally. I don't know why they did that, but you've got Hit Comics. I just think the artwork is superb. Just love that style. Really weird madcap story sort of stuff. Then you got Jonesy by Dib. Now he gets by Dib. Now, I don't know if Dib was the artist. Obviously, probably Dib was the person that created this character. So you've got Jonesy. It's just obviously a standard beach story there. Charlie Horse. Obviously, they did lots of these funny animal stories. So this comic, Hit Comics, included a lot of these sort of odd stories. This one's a very odd one with a rabbit and various other characters. You know, sometimes when you look at these, I have no idea which animal it's supposed to be. It's just obviously horses and things. I don't know. Never actually said what their names and types. Still great old artwork there. Now, that story, Sequin Jumps, clearly there is a page or two, probably the middle pages, have gone missing. This is always the trouble with all these old comics. They fall apart. And you've got the story there. I have no idea what the story is. Looks really, really lovely artwork. So you got that story, and then you got Bob and Swab. This is the Navy and some soldiers, and obviously going out with their various women. And you got some obviously various punch-ups and things in the storyline. Then you got Sir Roger Boonville, and this is about renowned author, lecturer, philosopher, honest gambler, and it's got a whole long list of that's Sir Roger. So he obviously it's got lots and lots of. But he goes back and there's a character. I shall seek out the terror and put the boom back into Boomville, for the mere sum of 10,000 smackaroos. He says there. Visits the mayor, as you do, of course, in this town. And since the terror, of course, has invaded, 15 master sleuths have disappeared. And of course, he just obviously solves the problem, I'm quite certain, in the story. The terror! Big Brother. Now, not the Big Brother, like in George Orwell. This is a character, Big Brother. And again, there's no... so you've got Big Brother there. I loved always the way they did with just the faces. So you had nothing in the background. It was just sort of. And then quite often you see scenes like that, where you just have the face. That would be just face in a panel. Or there would be no panel. It would be a panelist and just a face there. Actually, this has got very few adverts, considering it's a 60-page comic. You've got the classic, of course, at the back, The Fame Instead of Shame, with Charles Atlas. And also, this comic is falling to pieces. Lots of flakes will go. How to avoid these booby traps in your home. It's actually got here, ever ready, extra long life battery at the back. Lovely advert at the back. So that's it. I think these comics are great. This one cost next to nothing, and you can see because it's fallen to pieces, but it's just a lovely issue. Kid Eternity, great comic work all the way through as well. I just love these stories, and I've got a few sort of these odd quality comic ones, and they're always a joy to read through. They're quite fun. They are obviously of their period of the time, so you'll never, if you like modern comics, you probably look at it and go, this is very odd, these ones. And I always love all the writing on these ones. Can't make that out. Norma, something, very hard. Obviously, sometimes some writing, obviously probably from the shop that they originally bought it from, I assume. So, Hit Comics, issue 42.